What's up guys, this is TClass96, back with chapter 14 of my FE7 Chaos Mode 0% Growths LTC playthrough. This chapter is called his Eminence Erk, obviously in reference to the esteemed mage boy who will be joining us. Battle Preparations is finally available, so I no longer have to mess around setting up inventories in the first turn. It takes me forever to do prep since I tend to micromanage my items, so I decided it'd be best just do it off screen and show you the finalized team and their inventories. Osmond will eat the Dragon Shield and Seeker Book because, spoiler alert, he's going to hard carry the team for a while, and he needs as many stats as he can get. We can also deploy Merlinus on this map since we saved him last time. I'll deploy and protect him every chance I get since he needs to survive 15 times to promote to Wagon, and I do need him promoted eventually. Right off the bat, Osmond's going to do his usual trick of one-rounding a dangerous enemy with a Steel Sword. In this case, it's an archer with a short bow, which has 2 to 3 range and high crit. With him out of the way, the soldiers and knights on the eastern edge of the map are easy pickings. Afterwards, Marcus and Lowen rescue drop Osmond forward to face the main onslaught. This is a route map, so Osmond's going to have to kill a lot of enemies. I guess Sarah's eager to get to Erk, since she destroys this lone soldier with an unnecessary crit. From this spot, Dorcas can kill 2 soldiers on enemy phase. I want to prioritize Dorcas for kills where I can, because of all the early game Cavaliers, I think he's the best choice for promotion to Paladin. There's one Myrmidon with a Steel Sword on this map who's annoying to deal with since he can't be countered on enemy phase. Erk gets a dodge here, which is probably not needed, but definitely appreciated. As I alluded to before, this chapter will be the first in a long sequence where we primarily employ the strategy of huddle behind Osmond while he handles 90% of the enemies. Since the enemies mostly have inaccurate weapons on this map, like the Iron Bow and Iron Sword, he's almost untouchable in the forest. There's one more enemy with the annoying short bow, this Armor Knight, but Bartra can easily dispatch him with the Armor Slayer. He faces 20 crit, but as long as he avoids that, he's fine. Sarah grabs Erk, who is now a fighter instead of a mage. However, he doesn't let that stop him from one-rounding this Armor Knight with ease. Erk has comparable stats to Rebecca, except he has twice as much strength, 12 compared to 6. He's going to be absolutely critical this map thanks to his good starting position, his good strength, and the power of the hand axe. After Hector smites a Pegasus Knight, the rest of the gang will run forward and take out the whole central group. I did make one mistake in item management, and Dorcas has to trade himself a Vulnerary from Marcus. Whoops. Dorcas needs to be at full health to survive a pirate on enemy phase. Marcus trades himself the Armor Slayer while healing Bartra, so Matthew can take it to deal with the other knight. That other Armor Knight actually has a stealable Secret Book, which would be nice to get, and Bartra can steal it, but he also has an Iron Bow, which one-shots Lowen, so he's too dangerous to be left alive. On a side note, I've been getting mildly annoyed with all the level ups that we keep getting, since it just makes the videos take longer and we don't even get any stats from them. Especially for people like Bartra and Guy, who have EXP boosts, it feels like they just get a level up every other attack. I don't know, it's crazy. Since the weapons are also different in Chaos Mode compared to Vanilla, I want to take some time to go over the meta when it comes to different weapon types. I think this is a good chapter to go over iron weapons, and in future episodes I can cover steels, silvers, ranged weapons, magic, and so on. So the Iron Lance is almost normal, but the Iron Bow, Sword, and Axe are all very powerful, heavy, and 2-range locked. The Iron Sword is actually decent for early game on enemy phase. For example, on this turn, Dorcas is using one to counter and kill a pirate, while Osmond is using one versus enemies with their own Iron Swords. Meanwhile, the Iron Lance isn't as good for enemy phase, since very few enemies in this game actually have one range. However, it's a decent weapon for accurate chip damage. The Iron Axe is trash. Its description literally calls it the worst axe in the game. It's super outclassed by the Hand Axe, which has 2 to 3 range, it's only a bit weaker, and a massive 15 points lighter. Finally, the Iron Bow is strong, meaning it can help Hector get kills, but 2 range only means it isn't very flexible. Anyway, it's turn 3 and it's time to get a move on. Erk takes a very exposed position and one-shots the annoying Steel Sword Myrmidon. The hit is very reliable, I assure you. From this spot, he'll bait the boss Eric and a bunch of other enemies. Sarah visits the village for the Iron Blade. This is a really great weapon. It's accurate and has decent might, and most importantly, has 1-2 range, making it a great option for Oswin to use on enemy phase. Everyone else just creeps forward to the edge of enemy range, so next turn we'll be able to swoop in and finish off all the enemies we've baited over. The boss comes for Erk with his powerful Horse Slayer, another effective weapon that happens to have high crit. Erk dodges, which is nice, since he can only afford to take 1 hit, and there'll be 4 enemies attacking him. Hector does some tanking as well, getting brought to 1 HP. If the enemies had been stronger here, I could have just rigged crits for him instead of having him tank like this. Hilariously, Erk is strong enough to one-round the boss straight up, but I need him to advance farther, so I have Sarah come in instead with a clean 1-hit KO. Only 56 hit, but gotta do what you gotta do. Eric drops the Horse Slayer, which will be sort of useful. Guy and Hector obviously have no trouble cleaning up in the east. After Eliwood and Rebecca get rid of a Cavalier, I have to do some more trade shenanigans to get the Iron Blade to Oswin. He needs it to take out the last 2 enemies on enemy phase, since they'll have both 1 and 2 range. Conveniently, he can use the last use of his Steel Sword to finish off the Brigand Erk missed. Then it'll break and he'll auto-equip the Iron Blade. Barcher, Lowen, and Matthew have to team up to finish off the other Cavaliers. I didn't have any time for anyone to visit the armory or the shop, but they just sell basic items and iron weapons, so we're not really missing out on anything important. Last up, Erk has one more impressive feat, facing 2 Brigands on peaks. These guys were a huge obstacle to foreturning this map, since they're really hard to hit. However, thanks to careful positioning, one will be forced to move to a forest, where Erk's accuracy isn't actually that bad. The other has the peaks, but Erk has 4 chances to land 2 hits at 46 hit. He also has to dodge 1 hit on enemy phase, so his overall chance of success is only about 13%. I turned animations on for him, since, this is his big chance to show off. Also, you can see the great custom fighter animation by Mage Knight 404, which is really popular in ROM hacks. I guess people don't like the dorky animations from vanilla. Now that the epic Erk moments are done, Osmond finishes off the last Nomad, and that's chapter 14, completed in 4 turns. I know I said last time there would be rain, but turns out I was able to complete the chapter so fast I completely avoided it. Nice. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I know I dumped on defend maps last time, but next chapter is, honestly, one of the better ones.